And we're back. It's 2026. We ended 2025. Between November and December, we took some time for ourselves, had very limited filming. We got up to the typical Wheeler shenanigans. More on that in a minute.
Is this a bad decision? Guess time will tell.
But, yeah, it wasn't quite as restful as we had hoped. We seem to fill our time no matter what we're doing.
I hate that light. It's not gonna last much longer.
But let's talk about it. Andrew spent Thanksgiving and New Year's on call both of those weeks, and for Christmas, well, we didn't spend as much time celebrating as we had hoped. Now, I had Thanksgiving Day off, Christmas Day off, and New Year's Day off, and that's it. And Andrew forgot to turn off on Christmas Eve or the day before that. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure which day it was now because we are so tired, but he forgot to turn off the black tank flush, and it turned our bathroom into a cauldron of sadness. And so we had to sanitize the rig and clean that up, and then we had to use like enzyme cleaners, and we've had to like pull apart furniture and lift everything. Ugh, it was so gross, you guys. It was so gross. I like jumped out of bed and like stepped in it in a panic in my bare feet. It was horrendous. I was like in tears. And so, yeah, it wasn't great. Ugh. Ugh. Gross. It was so gross. We're definitely making memories, good and bad. So, you know, it's life. It happens. It was unpleasant. And I definitely spent some time just feeling the ick. But it's all better now, and just in time for the new year and for us to start filming again. We didn't film it. It was just too stressful. And you add like the holiday and everything else. It was just too much. So we just took that time for ourselves and didn't. Yeah. This footage may never see the light of day, but
okay, let's not break it.
technically and legally, Andrew owns this car.
Don't break my car.
Gotta come over that hump at an angle. Ooh, I almost wanted to grab the e-brake and slide. No! No! We're on dry pavement. Friends of ours who are major supporters of our channel got a new car, and the dealership wasn't going to give them anything for this car in trade. And so Andrew and I thought, we can solve this problem and make sure that they end up with a little bit of cash in their pockets. So we have gone to about an hour and 45 minutes to go get this car that I'm driving. It's clearly not the truck. And I'm test driving it at Andrew's work parking lot.
There's no one around.
God, because
This is autocross. There's really nothing wrong with this car.
yeah, it's fantastic. It flies. It's a great little car. What happened was it stopped functioning in the middle of the road, blocking 2 lanes, and they couldn't start it. They couldn't do anything. And
Something about the communication from the key wasn't right, but it just wouldn't recover from that. And
yeah, I don't really know what the deal was, but we picked this up and replaced all of the key batteries. One key was totally dead. One key battery was upside down, so it wasn't in right. And
the other key worked.
the third key worked fine. And what we did is we put it, there's a spot in the center console for your key if you have.
I'll take a clip of that. But yeah, basically if you've got a similar, I assume it's a Ford thing, you could drop the key all the way to the bottom of the center console, and it essentially registers as if there's battery power in it somehow.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what it does, but
fixes the problem.
Yeah, and that's how Andrew.
Surprise, we're not parking. I thought we were parking.
Both ways. Anyway, this footage may never see the light of day. What I can tell you, seriously, it rips.
Anybody want to play Rocket Ship?
No.
Somebody's trying to bump my hand with the window.
Well, we're supposed to get some colder temps this week. You can see Shauna's got the fireplace on here, but I'm going to check the propane levels and see where we're at there, just to make sure we're topped up. Is this a bad decision? Guess time will tell. Well, I was gonna grab propane until I forgot my wallet. Just gonna grab that real quick so I can pay. I think the best option here is to carry this two-handed centered, so I don't think I'll be able to film this. And we're back. That actually wasn't too bad. Just held it with two hands centered and just had to lean back a little more on the one wheel and off we go. It's gotten a little bit cold here, so we're getting out some winter blankets, and what this is also going to give us the opportunity to do is to test the new vents that we have. So, wow, my hair. This is kind of probably what Shauna feels like. Anyway, we're going to fire up the heat pump and test those new vents and see how they work. All right, so I'm going to get that heat pump on. Nope, nope. Pump 65. Just get it up to 70 and see how we do. Shauna's gone full festive with her Santa suit. Is that as snuggly as it looks?
Yes, it's incredible.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
You should try yours.
Right, I've got one too. Is it a little weird we might be matchy-matchy walking around the campground? Maybe. Do I care? I do not. So far, I'm really happy with the new vents. We installed them in a previous episode, but really it wasn't cold out. Now it's cold out, we get to use our heat pump, test them out, and I have to say, they're pretty great. I've got the ability to direct the flow so much better than the original ones. Turn them off, turn them on. They really are quite an improvement, and I'm very happy. So I made a joke in the last episode when I installed them about dissimilar metals corrosion. I was referring to the stainless screws going into the aluminum. The vents themselves are actually plastic. Now, I don't consider this a downgrade. I actually like this idea because with the old ones, we would get a lot of condensation if it was really, really hot. The stainless vent with the AC blowing through it would get condensation that would drip on us. Not a fan. An open style vent with nothing blocking would definitely give the best airflow, but I really like the look of these. For the price, for the low profile appearance of these and the amount of airflow we're getting, I really like these. Now, they don't come with their own screws and they don't come with a gasket. That's fine by me. I think this Tommy Bahama will be just fine without a gasket behind this. Last week, Shauna got a tepid shower, and to work on that problem, we vinegar soaked the hot water heater and pulled that hot water through into the shower to descale and see if we could get better flow. It's better now, but I'm thinking I want to take apart the shower mixing valve just to see if I can see any problems there. What I mean by that is I'm going to see if there's a replaceable cartridge in that mixing valve, but first I'm going to take off my Santa suit so I don't get it soaking wet. I was expecting there to be a set screw somewhere hidden, but actually the whole thing just unscrews. Moving the cover on the back side of the shower mixing valve. There's that. So this is the back side of the mixing valve. Check this out. I'm not entirely sure why there isn't just a cover plate over this. It doesn't actually stick out into the room, but It has this big thick box to cover it. Looking at this mixing valve, maybe they make it so that a different style valve could be put in here without much intrusion, but I may modify that cover so we get a little storage space back. We'll see. I hate that light. It's not going to last much longer. I just removed this escutcheon here. Held on with these 2 screws, and it gives this something to screw into. I'm going to now take off the ring here and see what I can see about this valve. I believe what I'm after is these 4 screws here, and I'll be able to remove this and see if I've got scale inside here. Turn the water off, drained it back. I hope that's good enough to not lose a ton of water back through, but I have put a little bit of, well, an old t-shirt and some rags just to catch whatever goes through. But there shouldn't be any pressure. We shouldn't see much water here. Wish me luck. If the goal is to not drop the screws into the abyss, mission accomplished. Ta-da! I happened to notice it said cold, and that was on the right side before I pulled it out. So looks like I could put it back in any orientation. That probably caused me a problem as far as how the mixing valve actually works and sets temperature. So glad I noticed that before I ripped it apart. There might be a little bit of chalky residue on the inside of this mixing valve shell. And when I look at the cartridge, I don't see, I'll say, what I expected, which is a lot more buildup. So I think we might be okay here. Well, it's been fun to figure out how this thing works and is assembled and fit in the Airstream, but ultimately I'm not finding a smoking gun for why we might have reduced hot water volume. I'm going to stitch it back up now. Fingers crossed. Oh, I took the closet door off out here. It's easy to just pop the 3 hinges because now I can reach around to the back. There was no way I could get my arm around the door too. So after all that disassembly, it doesn't seem like it's necessary to replace this. You can tell one of the most problematic things to do would be to lose one of these screws behind the wall. Down the drain, you say? Let's just worry about behind the wall. And I totally didn't do that right now.
Do you have the drain plug?
I don't have the drain plug. Maybe I'll just put some shampoo over it. Problem solved. In a brilliant move, I put a bunch of rags below this to stop any water that might have leaked down. Didn't have much water leaking down, but it's actually catching the screws, so good thinking there. I saved the hardest one for last on the theory that I have the maximum amount of training putting in the easier ones. To get this lined up, I really need a hand behind it. Allow me to get the escutcheon back on here and straight. There it is. Okay. Upside down. Initially, I tried to see if I could find this mixing valve, instructions and whatnot, but because it was configured like this, I couldn't quite tell what I was looking at. How I found it was the orange piece had the block on the bottom here, and this was flat to be straight up and down. Hopefully everything goes back in the same configuration and we don't have any issues with the mixing valve.
That was the range we had before. That orange block, if you change it, it'll give you more hot up top. I don't think we need it. I don't think that's the problem. I think this is correctly adjusted to give you the right amount of hot water at full hot. And our issues stem from a different problem. But I'm happy to have taken this apart and seen exactly what I need to see on the inside to know that we didn't have scale buildup in there. I'm gonna go put the water back on. Okay, shower's back together. I'm just gonna test it real. Wait a minute, hold on a second. That's better. I was chilly the whole time I was working, but I feel better now. All right, let's check this out. Got this back together. Seems to be working well. Got some nice hot water. Only word of caution is make sure if you ever take one of these apart, put everything back together in the same orientation that you found it, or things get a little messed up. So I've officially taken this closet over from Shauna so I can hang my work clothes, and then most of the rest of my clothes go up here. But I absolutely hate the lighting in this thing, and I'm gonna fix that now. Here's the problem in a nutshell. You basically get light in one quadrant, and the other three more or less get nothing. I really hate these things. I think I can do better. Let's find out. It's a really pleasant light right there. Switch, LED panel. That simple. These can be wired to a 12-volt transformer, but as we're direct wiring them, I'm just going to chop this off and expose the red and black wire here. I've done a little prep work to be ready to go here. I've got this connected, hard connection, no switch in it. And then I've added clips up the sides and double-sided tape up top. What I'm hoping to do is go up and around, and we'll see how I do. Pretty happy so far with progress getting these lights affixed. I've used a fair bit of double-sided tape and also two kinds of clips. This is the kind I prefer. It works quite a bit better. Meanwhile, someone is working from home. I've now got warm white light top to bottom. This was previously an unlit space. I feel like we've got a very nice quality of light up top now. Down here, light from both sides. We've removed the sort of obstruction hazard here of the old light fixture. Now nice light all the way through. It's back on the edges. It doesn't really interfere with anything. Now I've never really tested how much electricity this really draws, but they do get a little warm. We've used it before. I don't think it's going to be a problem here in this application. Now this side is just test wired. I do think I want to click on, click off switch manually on this side. I don't think I want to do the magnetic open and close style switch that we have on this side. I'm gonna go search in the Wheeler Reserve to see what I've got for switches. I knew I had one of these switches around. It took me a few minutes to find it, but I found it. Check it out. It's this kind where when you touch it, it does not glow. So it doesn't glow at night. It only is blue indicator when it's actually on. The other key feature is it's dimmable. Don't know if we need mood lighting in the closet, but it is dimmable. I did spray a little bit of sawdust around to make this hole, but this is the desired effect. We've got a nice clean installation of the switch. No light when it's off, so we don't have a night light that we don't want. And we do have this on, and it's dimmable should the need arise.
All right, guys, we are back at the $1 car. It's been about 3 or 4 weeks, and my part has arrived. This little doohickey may be the reason that we keep getting the no key fob detected. We've definitely already tried batteries in the key fob. Those were all replaced, and it didn't do anything. So let's get into it. So I have the mechanical key here.
I left this parked with the battery disconnected just in case there was some kind of parasitic drop. So when we reconnect it, we shouldn't have an issue with a dead battery. So let's see what happens. Got it.
Did. All right. Battery.
Yeah, that went on for a couple seconds.
Place the key in the backup location, and that backup location is, focus, is in there. Placing the key in the backup location and pushing the start button seems to have turned the alarm off. We have power because my seat will back up. And this little receiver, oftentimes in the sunroof models of this particular Ford, is up in here. And we're gonna try to swap it out. This little receiver is supposed to be plug and play, and it's infamous in this particular model, the titanium, when you have a leak in your sunroof, for the connectors to get corroded. So my first step is to try to replace this.
Disconnect the battery again? All right. What do you see?
I see a loose piece of plastic here, but this is where it's supposed to be, so let's go find it. I see in here some broken, like the trim piece around here, looks like it's broken off. And then I'm looking for where this is supposed to go. You can see there's staining here. A lot of times cars with sunroofs have these like drains that get plugged up and need maintenance, or they get disconnected, but more often than not, like algae or something like that plugs them up. So we're gonna have to monitor that situation as well. I see some headliner fabric that needs gluing and just some general like fiddly little maintenance, but otherwise I really feel like this is looking pretty good. There's this little thing here, it's covered in foam. Let me see. Oh, that looks like my guy.
Oh, that looks gross.
It is gross.
Oh, be careful, because that may get onto the headliner.
And stain more. All right, so, yeah, let's.
But that's a sure thing. That's it.
Let's regroup.
Okay.
I'm kind of flying blind. There is a plug, and I feel sticky.
I think that's the plug end. I've got it kind of secured.
Wires. I kind of need both hands, so I need like you to hold this maybe out of the way.
Well, that's the plug we're looking for right there.
Okay, I can't see it. Can you?
You're on
see
it. Can you tug it out?
I need.
See, it may have a little locky tab.
I need you to hold this out of the way. I'm not strong enough to do both.
Got it.
Okay. Wow, that's a sticky mess.
Yeah, let's look at that.
So it was down like this because the foam was up high.
Yeah, I wonder if that holds moisture against it though.
I don't know. But let's chuck it on the floor mat. I really need hands to hold this down.
All right, let me get up there and help.
I really scratched my watch up. That's all right. I own it to wear it, but... Okay. I think I got it lined up, but I'm gonna leave it here hanging out.
Okay.
Wow, I am sticky.
Awesome.
Can you please connect the battery for me?
I think it's good enough for now. The next step for us is to check every single one of these fuses to make sure they're good, and then there's actually a few more in the trunk as well.
According to the internet, there's also some in here, next to this like air handler piece. So we want to check those inline fuses and make sure they're connected and good and talking to that receiver.
That one's good. This car was used as a towed vehicle behind someone's RV, and there's a bunch of wiring associated with the hitch for that I'm going to remove, hoping that's not complicating our situation. I can see the tops of them, but I need to remove the whole airbox, I think, to get it to fold down.
Okay. We are on our way to get some fuses. Let's see if we can get our dollar car going. The barrier to entry for fuses is just like dollars. And so we might as well just not take any chances and have an assortment of stuff on hand. I really feel like this must be some sort of fiddly little sensor or electrical issue. Oof, rough road. All right, let's see if we can get this dollar car going, guys.
We're back with fuses. Sean got us back into the car.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
These were about, this fuse was about $10. It's a 50 amp.
Design slightly changed, but hopefully it does the same thing. Got this fuse in here. Couple interesting things about this. We can tell nobody's replaced this fuse because there was a ton of dust on everything and no one had touched it. Also, the new style fuse is black, the old one's red. So we're pretty sure 100% never been touched, and we're wondering if this is really the problem here. Before I go ahead and start the car, I want to make sure the mass airflow sensor in particular, but really this whole area, is back together so we don't throw a bunch of check engine lights and then kind of have other problems to solve. But yeah, we're optimistic, but we're going to reassemble first. I think we're making one click per.
It's a little foolish. I like it.
It feels silly.
I like it.
About to find out.
Let's connect the battery.
Yeah. Everything we took apart to get in here to get these hidden fuses is reassembled. I'd like you to get in the hot seat and see if we've got power.
All right, let's do this.
Driver, please, sorry, you know what I mean. Try to start it.
I have mileage, so 139.
Okay.
9.
Is that different?
And the P
Okay.
for park.
Okay.
It knows that it is not.
It's not giving you that key.
The key fob error.
Okay.
And we have this sensor still sort of.
Dislodged.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
Sure. Let's give it a try.
I've taken the fob off of the thing, but just for
Safety's sake, we'll put it on the special spot.
yeah.
Okay. Ha ha
ha. Engine on.
$10 fuse.
Well, this was 100, so our dollar car is now 100 plus a $10 fuse, so $111 car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo!
All right. Let's double check everything is back where it needs to be before we try to like move or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Okay. Feeling good about this though. Yeah. Found 2 steel screws in the wheel well plus a bunch of plastic around and all along the bottom, and I've undone those and I'm trying to get the bumper cover off now so that I can remove it and get the steel from the tow hitch off.
Trying to remove these pieces.
The main reason to remove the towing equipment is because it's notorious for causing shorts over time, and so I'm trying to get the bumper cover off to access it.
Because we pretty much think this is a mechanically sound vehicle, and ultimately we have some sort of gremlin that is electrical. But that fuse really helped.
Yeah, I think so. I was trying to be careful so I could disconnect these lights. This one, maybe it was eaten, not sure, but the wire is broken.
Got the bumper up and off. What do you see, bud?
So we've essentially got a sub-assembly attached to the frame, like a extension of the frame, and then all this stuff comes off of it. So what I've got to do is come back and I think get 2 bolts on either side, and that
there's
should.
some sort of rodent there.
Yeah, there's something bad there. But yeah, if I get the sub-assembly off, we should be in good shape.
Okay.
I've decided to cut off this bolt-on piece because I can't get it off the right way. I need to get to the wiring so I can remove all that so I don't have this short. And I need to do it quickly so we don't lose the light. I don't want to be in this neighborhood after dark.
Yeah, this isn't a great place.
No.
Let's get to it. So what are you going to do?
Sawzall.
Oh!
Yeah, we're going to solve it with Sawzall.
trim strip.
Yep, let's put that back real quick. You may continue.
No, the fuzz just went through. We gotta go. We gotta go. That's all we have for this week, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for being here. We know your time is valuable.